Bon les gars, on va faire une petite partie de solo Arena. Arene. Bon, il n'y a encore personne, mais voilà quoi. Donc comme vous pouvez voir, je suis sur mon nouveau compte. Parce que bah, j'ai dû changer de compte vu que j'avais pas la DF. Aïe aïe aïe. Salut à la personne qui vient d'arriver sur le live. N'hésite pas à like et puis à t'abonner si c'est pas encore fait. Et puis bah voilà, hein. Ta gueule. Ok. C'est bien, c'est bien. Bon, quand je vais sur tes lives, je dis pas ça, mais ok. Je sais pas si t'as vu, Bastien, ma attitude, il y a une faille au cas où. Allez, on va les tomates. D'ailleurs, j'arrive, je vais regarder les infos. Yeah, mais je reste sur ton live pour le time watching, donc dis-moi merci. Y'a un mec. Ah non, ça doit être un noob, frère. Pas de stream avec un Black Cito. Je rigole. Ok. Vas-y, bah. Regarde mon live alors, je sais pas. Fais ce que t'as dit que t'allais faire. Oh. J'ai 0 arme. Oh. Nice mon loot, je sens qu'on va faire un petit top 0. On va juste perdre des points. L'autre là-bas il va vouloir me rush. Juste en atterrissage et fake boule. Ah ouais, il y a complètement des fakes de bouga. Oh, ça fait bien. Ça fait du bien. Donc, tu veux pas ce comble là? Tu te dis aïe aïe aïe. C'est le top 1 celui-ci. De moi j'en mange jusqu'à ce truc là. Je me demande pourquoi ça a imposé un truc très bon. J'ai 0 shield. On adore. Et j'ai pas tapé la tomate et je perds du temps. Oh. J'oublie toujours tout, moi. Comme en Mongolie. Ah, c'était quoi? Attends, c'était une AK que j'ai pas pris tout à l'heure? Ah ouais, faites chaud. Faites chaud pour pas l'avoir. Hein. Nice, Ryan. Nice. Ah, les mini-shields. C'est ce qu'il me fallait, maintenant je suis bien. Pierre Bellec, je vais y aller dedans. Je vais aller voir s'il n'y a pas un petit breuvage. Avant tout, je vais regarder s'il n'y a pas le mec qui s'est introduit par les fractures. Oh, ça me gratte le pif. Attends, ça a été loot? Oh, ça a été loot. J'ai peur qu'il y ait le mec qui m'attende. Déjà, il a pas pris un pompe tactique, c'est-à-dire qu'il a la meilleure pompe que ça. Comment je savais? Mais gros, c'est quoi cette merde? Putain! Sale fils de pute à attendre! Gros, c'est qui les joueurs comme ça à attendre? Sale bite que t'es, en plus t'es claqué! Putain, il y aurait juste à mettre les escaliers là! Au lieu de ces arrondis de merde, là, je le fumais sa mère! Putain! Casse les couilles ces merdes! Putain, c'est des bites les gens comme ça, frère, ils sont nuls! Il est claqué! Comment tu veux pas t'énerver avec des bites comme ça, frère? Il est en division 6, il attend derrière une porte cette merde! J'en étais sûr! J'en étais sûr! Espèce de pute là! Division 6, c'est encore que des bambis ou quoi? Qu'il était mort, va! Et une pompe qui touche jamais, c'est la même chose ça! 80 points de game, frère. Tout ça parce que la dernière fois, je mets du 100, il met un 200 direct. Et là, parce que c'est une grosse bite qui se cache. C'est de pute, va. Le mec, il attend comme ça. T'as même pas envie de jouer à jeu, gros. Putain. Genre comme ça, là, qui niquent leur grand mort, frère. Faire que perdre des points avec des bites comme ça. Ouais, nice, ce pistolet. Oh lui là-bas je vais l'olive. Il va aussi se cacher, tu vas voir. Ah parce qu'en plus il est sur le toi cette bite. Nice le 38 là. Allez, tu fais 2 maintenant. Bah ouais. C'est impossible. Il fait des merdes. Oh j'en ai marre. Bah oui, bah oui, bah oui, bah oui, bah oui. Ah ouais frère, t'es un dieu gros, t'es un dieu, mais t'es nul à chier en vrai. Putain. Voilà, encore une fois, je meurs par une bite à l'air qui me met tout son shield. Encore une bite là. Je mets du 30 au corps à corps, bah ouais hein. Bah ouais Fortnite, vous êtes chaud. Tu aussi ouais. Il y a des millions de ces fils de pute, ça même pas faire une cam déjà. Tranquille frère. Et leurs dégâts c'est de la merde. 30 corps à corps gros. Qui mettre un score, une longue de distance non. Putain, vas-y, là, je fais de la merde, gros, j'arrête, ça me casse les couilles. Hein. Toujours 8 à ma vie, frère. Avec des gros noobs, sa mère. Champion c'est 6500 points je crois. Sinon ça va être ouais. Comment tu vas? Est-ce que tu pourrais me dire si on m'entend bien? Parce que je sais pas trop. « 7500 et je suis à 3729. J'étais à 4000, j'ai fait que baisser. Oui ça va, ok. Bah ouais, bah ouais. Ah, Lost Oxygen, c'est un bonjour, je crois ça. Bah oui, bah oui, bah oui. Allez frère. D'où j'ai pas touché avec mon pompe. On m'explique là? On m'explique une merde comme ça? Pourquoi tu danses frère? T'es un Bambi, t'es un Bambi. Oh putain, grosse bite que t'es. Va, je te prends en AV1, je te nique quand tu veux. Putain. Gros, déjà d'où ma balle de pompe ne passe pas. Ça chatte qu'ils ont là, leur mou là, ces Bambi de merde. Putain, ils ont qu'une grosse chatte là. Ah ouais frère, je fais que descendre et que descendre. Je fasse quoi d'autre frère? Que des merdes en jeu. Que ça frère, tu peux pas monter. Avec des bits comme ça frère, il a 4 kills. Bah ouais frère, est-ce que c'est de la... Est-ce que c'est de l'arène? Non. Non, c'est de la solo tout court. Tout court. C'est de la solo. Il n'y a même pas d'arène. Tu peux aller en division champion, c'est la même chose. Putain, danser en plus cette pute là. Alors il sait très bien que c'est une merde. Je pleure pas, mais je pleure pas, ça me casse les couilles frère. La merde ce jeu gros, ce jeu c'est fait pour les Bambi. Pour les Bambi. Le mec qui fait le mec à danser, ouais, frère, j'allais le pioche cette bite là. Putain. Ouais, puis la course auto qui se met pas non plus. Putain, que des bites dans le jeu là, que des merdes. Que ça. Et tu vois que ça fait longtemps que t'es abonné à la chaîne ou pas? Parce que... Yo, wesh Calvin. Arrive au pire moment mon gars. Je suis nul à chier. Surtout, je meurs que par des merdes. C'est ça le truc. C'est pas là-bas ça là? Ah non. Ça aussi je suis biglé. Hein. Demain un vs1 si tu gagnes le BO3 inscrit, ok? Vas-y, vas-y. Mais t'es qui genre enfin... Oh, ouhou, la game elle commence bien là. Et je vous dis là c'est un top 1. Non je vais pas boire au cas où j'ai un bleu vache. Bon, tes cheveux pas copain, je rachète le live. Désolé les gars. Non, je rigole. Pas même pas, mais je vais gueuler un gros coup. Ah, il y a Renatom qui m'invite. Renatom. Du coup, Twerk, tu peux me dire c'est qui ou si je t'ai déjà en ami ou quoi que ce soit? Mon pseudo c'est NJ, ouais. Ok, ok. Oula, je sens qu'il y a un mec, mon gars. Les gars. Aïe, aïe, aïe. Y allez, maintenant je vais laisser son compte. Je suis vraiment trop con. J'ai pas rejoint la partie. Non, non, je suis là sur l'arène. Désolé. Mais gros, mais j'en ai marre. C'est quoi ma chatte? Il y a combien de probas pour que je meure comme ça? Il y a combien de probas? C'est un truc de ouf. C'est qui m'a tué, frère? Je sais même pas c'est qui. Que de la merde, frère. Là, même lui, je le prends en AV1, je le monte en l'air. Putain. Je sais même pas où aller. Tellement il y a soit que du rush, soit que des merdes. Soit des gens qui tryhardent, mais à la fois c'est des bambis, frère. Ils se cachent dans un truc. T'as l'heure, ils me tuent parce qu'ils se cachent derrière une porte, mon gars. Envie de péter un câble avec ce jeu. Il sert à rien en plus dans ta vie, gros. Juste à te péter le cerveau. Putain. Ouais, j'ai mes pieds, gros, sur mon bureau. Je vais faire tomber mon écran, mais il va rien comprendre. Casse la télé, wesh. Frère, mais j'ai envie, mais... Après, si je cache, je peux même pas jouer. Ça servirait à quoi, après? Ces bits, là. Vas-y, dites-moi un spawn, là. Parce que moi, je crois que je suis pas la bienvenue, frère. Je vais à la title, il n'y aura pas de build. Allez, vas-y, je vais à title. Voilà. Allez, j'ai perdu 400 points. 400 points. 400 points, frère. En 3 parties. On adore. On adore. Ah, plus que 3 parties, du coup, vu que j'ai fait que des retours lobby à cause de merde, là. Gros, je préfère mourir dès le début qu'attendre 8 ans, frère, pour mourir par des bits comme ça. Et là, tu vas voir, je vais me faire one, comme d'hab. Allez, je tombe sur un snipe. Allez, allez hop. Allez hop, allez, ça en direct, allez, nique ta mère, hein. Jamais, gros. Jamais. Mon minigun, il a touché 0 fois, hein. 0, 0. Alors que le mec était en bas, en bas. Et ça touche pas mon cul. « 500 points. 500 points en 20 minutes, gros. 500 points en 20 minutes. Zazazer, au lieu de faire le malin derrière ton écran, viens, je te pète le fion. On en reparle, fils de pute. Casse-toi du live si t'es pas content. Après, va pas te plaindre à ta mère que je t'insulte de fils de pute, ouais. Fils de pute. Ah, les mecs comme ça qui font les malins derrière leur écran, frère, je te fais un tête-à-tête en vrai dehors, là, je te nique ta mère quand tu veux, je te monte en l'air, frère. Je te monte en l'air, gros, pire qu'un manège. Pire qu'un Europa Park, mon pote. À juger derrière ton écran, j'en suis sûr que je te pète, va. Juste que depuis tout à l'heure, j'ai pas de chat. Frère, avant le live, je suis chaud. J'arrive, je suis claqué. Eh bah ouais. Logique. Tu montes. Ta grand-mère? Ouais, peut-être là, je te démarre. Ouais, apprends à parler français, frère. Je suis sûr, derrière ton écran, t'étais en train de bégayer, mon gars. Et au pire, tu peux prendre la balle, hein, si tu me fais chier. Oh, ta mère. Bref, je dirai pas tes commentaires, hein, Zazazer, t'inquiète. Je me passerai tes commentaires de merde. Il faut même pas écrire alors qu'il est sur un écran. En fait. Moi je te pète la nuce. Ah, tu vois, je crois même pas. Je crois que toi tu le pètes, ouais, ça c'est sûr. Déjà Zazazer, toi tu le pètes, je pense, tu vois. Déjà avec son prénom, frère, Zaza, voilà. Un fou celui-là. Lui il vient sur le live, lui il me prend de haut. T'as cru que t'étais qui? T'es pas chez ta grand-mère comme t'écris. Hein. Sinon, ouais, t'inquiète, moi, je vais remonter. Combien t'as envie? Là, tu sais, il est en train de m'écrire un roman ou ses parents, frère. Comme un petit toutou. J'ai 19 ans en PD. Oh, tu me fais peur. J'ai peur, l'aide. J'ai 19 ans en PD. Ça, c'est les mecs qui se racontent une vie, tu sais. T'inquiète, je connais. T'étais pas le seul à faire ça, je pisser dessus. Hein. J'espère que c'était pas content, tu te casses là. Tu vas avoir un meilleur joueur. Et je sens là, je vais me prendre une balle, je vais me faire one aux pompes. Ça c'est sûr. Il y a mieux. De quoi? Ah, 2 joueurs. Bah oui, c'est sûr qu'il y a mieux que moi. Hein. Un peu logique. Hey! Nice, gros, t'es les gars. T'es chaud, toi? Je sais même pas où il est, frère. Oh, c'est... Merde. Hein? Bon bah dommage, le trickshot qui ne passe pas. T'es chaud, Arene trio. Ah vas-y. C'est ce que je veux depuis tout à l'heure là, sauf qu'il n'y a personne. Vas-y, moi je suis chaud. Mais attends, ah oui c'est vrai, il peut me tirer dessus. Ah, nice. J'avais oublié, je croyais qu'on pouvait pas tirer dessus. Ah, je suis un mongol. J'avais un pod. Ah ouais. Demande Dark, tiré du bas, Slayer. Mais ta gueule, tu pues la merde. Oui, si tu veux, si tu veux. Mais sauf que là, tu vois, je peux pas build. Hein? Donc, ferme ta gueule. Puis bon, avec les balles qu'il m'a mis, comme je dis, moi je mets 0 dégâts, lui, il met toutes ses balles, quoi. On adore. Demande d'arc. Vas-y, attends. Bien. Puis frère, Zaza hier là, Zer, je sais pas quoi là. Frère, qu'est-ce que tu me parles toi? Je suis sûr que ton prénom c'est Zaza. C'est parce que tes parents ils savaient pas trouver un prénom pour toi frère. Fils de pub. T'acceptes dans 1 minute. 10 minutes. Ah ok. Vas-y, vas-y. Atwork, t'es toujours là? Are you toujours là? Il voit pas mes messages, de grosse teub. Qui moi? Qui moi, Atwork? Oui, eh ben, je vois pas tes messages. Pourquoi tu m'as envoyé quoi? Ouais, toi. Mais quel message? Enfin, attends, pourquoi Zaza tu dis ouais, toi? Mais Atwork il dit oui. Alors là-bas, c'est pas Atwork qui me parle? Attends, je comprends plus, les gars, expliquez-moi. Bon, dites-moi où vous voulez que j'aille. Vas-y, je regarde ça dessus, je pense. Déjà, c'est à Atwertic. Pas Atwork. Ouais, mais je dis comme je veux. C'est moi qui parle, c'est moi qui dis. Va sur YouTube et regarde dans le chat. Ouais, bah je regarderai après le live. Attends, il est quelle heure? Ah ouais. Attends, y'a personne? Non, t'es juste dyslexique. Alors là, je suis pas dyslexique, mais par contre, je sais pas le prononcer. Alors là, je vais tomber sur le mot que je sais moins le dire. Donc, bien joué. T'es chaud. Oh, il a un pompe. Allez, merci. Bon, c'est sérieux ça en fait. On lui pète l'arrêt à Anto. Ah, vous êtes des potes, merde. Ah, Anthony, vous êtes des potes du coup. Demain, un VS2, ok. Un VS2. Direct un VS2 parce que vous savez que vous allez perdre. Vas-y, c'est le mec. Si tu veux, si tu veux. Anthony MDR et du coup à l'autre. Je sais pas, Anthony. Oh, encore un noob qui se cache derrière les trucs là. Tu mets en vie son frère. Tu peux la putain de dingue. Non, c'est juste pour pas prendre une balle. Hein? Oui, passez là. Nice on shoot. Oh là là. Ah oui, j'ai pas de PM. Ah voilà. J'avais pas de PM, fils de pute. Putain, je me disais, pourquoi lui il peut rafaler mais pas moi? T'es vraiment dyslexique. Dyslexique. Oh, je sais pas dire dyslexique. Arrêtez de mettre dyslexique là. Under. Arrêtez de mettre dyslexique par contre. Je sais vraiment pas dire. Dyslexique. Ajoute Iroquois 74 demain avec un. Ah ouais, Iroquois frère, déjà ton pseudo. Bon, je vais pas parler du mien parce que bon, moi j'avais que ça pour mettre mais. Ajoute en. Oui bah toi tu m'as déjà dit, t'inquiète, j'ai retenu. Oh, j'ai pas de but. Nice, nice. Bah ouais gros. T'es chaud. Rentre chez toi. Bon, c'est quoi mes dégâts aujourd'hui en fait? On va voir notre chaîne et network. Nous on n'a pas 50 mais 1150. Ah ok, c'est cool. Et tu t'es cru qui? Tu t'es cru le boozer? C'est bon? T'as 1150 abonnés, t'es riche? Non? Fais un solo build. Là c'est sur le Arene, c'est pas solo build. Oh. Ah, il y a encore un mec. Frère, ils sont combien ça petit? Vas-y, bah allez, rush-lui et puis après j'irai rush-lui. Frère, il est sérieux? C'est un ouf, là. Oui, là, je vais choper. En fait, j'ai l'impression qu'il est bon. Hein? What? Non, t'as pas dit pas. Ouais. Quoi? T'as combien? Attends, j'en suis sûr il a 10 HP même pas. Bam. Bon, on n'a pas pu voir. C'est pas Edit MDR. Non, je prends juste mon temps. Je suis genre manette. Oh le lama frère, c'est un nul, ça se voit. Tu rigoles? T'es plus nul que lui. Si tu veux, mais tu m'as pas encore vu. Et bon, allez, go du rage, mon gars. Oh frère, qui fait ça en 2018? 2018. 2019. Frère, je suis sûr, vous êtes derrière votre écran. Voilà, on avait on avait un. Et alors, je suis manette, je t'éclate et dites. Eh oui, si tu veux. T'es le meilleur toi, non? Hein, Zazazer? C'est quoi ton épique? Bah en fait j'en sais rien. Bah attends, je t'ai ajouté. C'est écrit là. Rigs. Vas-y, attends, redonne-moi ton truc, toi, monsieur Gaming. Va créa. Non, je suis pas ton chien, donc non, j'irai pas. C'est quoi ton épique? Et build? Non, pause. Je mets dans le cul. Là, je vais aller faire la trio, donc... Dark Slayer, vas-y, bah, attends, je te demande. Ah bah, tu vois, t'es là. Ange, je vais me branler à demain. Pourquoi tu l'appelles Ange? Dac, moi aussi. Ah ouais, avec leur petite queue, là. Du coup, attends, c'était quoi le... Ah oui, c'est Dark. Pourquoi ça va pas demandé déjà? Bah normalement, monsieur Gaming, tu peux juste ajouter celui qui vient de te demander un ami, et puis voilà. Il lit mot par mot. Ouais, je lis mot par mot, je préfère ne pas me tromper. MDR, la tienne, c'est un micro-pénis. Ah bah là, t'es mal parti pour... T'es mal... Comment? Comment? Ouais, allez, je sais pas parler, frère. T'es mal placé pour dire ça, mon pote. Hein. Parce que vu mes origines, mon pote, je crois que mes origines, c'est les origines qui ont les plus grosses bites sur la terre, donc je parlerai pas à votre place. Non, t'es dyslexique. Ouais, pareil. Arrête de mettre dyslexique, là, je sais même pas comment, même vous savez même pas comment ça s'écrit, frère. Bah oui, je sais pas dire dyslexique. Normal que je bégaye avec ce mot. Dyslexique, je sais même pas dire ce mot. Qui sait dire ça, frère? T'es Renoir? Moi? Ouais. Accepte. Nice, y a pas de demande d'amis. T'es un bab tout fragile. Ouais, si tu veux. Viens à Planoise, après on en reparle. Je sais même pas si tu sais où c'est, frère. Après on en reparle. Viens à Planoise. Ils ont des petits... Il est blanc, MDR. Ah ouais, moi je suis blanc. Ah, MDR, bien sûr. Moi je suis un blanc. Wesh, Black Cito. Non, c'est où ça encore, MDR? Ça encore. Choisis le mode de jeu. Oh, Black Cito, rejoins-moi. Attends, je vais le rejoindre. Ah mais non, c'est sur mon deuxième compte. Oh, voilà. Oh, Black Cito, rejoins-moi. Demain, je te late. Ouais, si tu veux. Viens dans les 93, on reprend pas, MDR. Je te sors un gros truc là, t'as vu que tu sors les 93, mon huc, frère. Je connais plein de gens là-bas. Je connais plein de gens. Et alors? Mais demande-moi... Tu sais que c'était quelqu'un, monsieur Gaming? Parce que, regarde, je t'ai ajouté pourtant. Hein. Dark Slayer, tu vois. Merde, attends. 01, je crois que c'était. Relance ton jeu. Si je relance mon jeu, ça va être à mon live. Donc, non, merci. Ah, bien, contre. Ouais, mais ils veulent le faire demain. Bon, vas-y, ange de... Demain, on le baise. Ah, là, j'ai autre chose à faire. Héros quoi, 74 CD. Ouais, parce que tu dois aller au dodo, même Black Cito, frère, il le dit. Sale victime, va. Black Cito, gros, il te monte en l'air, lui, c'est encore pire que moi, frère. Il te fume ta mère. Il te monte en l'air, gros, pire qu'un manège, la vie de ma mère, je rigole même pas. Encore, je sais plus comment il s'appelle là. Le pote à Zazazer, je l'aime bien, mais genre il est sympa. Mais Zazazer là, il fait trop le fou lui. Blackcito, si genre twerker, je sais plus quoi là, bref, un truc. Genre, c'est bon, tu t'en fous, lui, ça va, je m'en fous. Genre tranquille. MDR, je vais pas rester sur son live jusqu'à demain. Et c'est ta mère le manège, MDR. Ma mère le manège. MDR, vous n'avez pas vu notre niveau. Ouais, votre niveau, on peut pas le voir, frère. Il est caché tellement vous êtes éclaté au sol, frère. Vas-y, rejoins-moi, Blackcito. 2v2, je filme. Vas-y, vas-y. Vas-y, viens, on fait sans lui. Filme leur mère, frère. Ils vont rien comprendre. Prends demain, gros, faut que je me traîne. Parce que là, aujourd'hui, vraiment, je suis nul à chier. Non, même pas besoin de me traîner comme des merdes, frère. Comme des gens qui s'appellent Zaza. Il est sous terre son niveau. Frère, il s'appelle Zaza dans la vraie vie, je crois. Ah, moi, je fume ta famille. Tu parles pas de la famille quand tu connais pas. Je te ramène mon père, tu te pisses dessus, frère, en face. Tu te pisses dessus, gros. Tu peux même ramener un flingue devant lui, tu te pisseras dessus, frère, mon gars. Parle pas de le bled. Le bled, mon gars, c'est des timbrés dans leur tête, tu connais pas. Ajoute snap, baston, tiré du bas, D19. Tu me dis quand tu joues et je viens. Baston, tiré du bas, D19. J'ajoute personne sur mon snap, moi. C'est sur Fortnite et après, tu joues avec moi ou tu joues pas. Hein. Genre, je m'en fous. Ferme ta gueule. D'où je m'appelle Zaza. Dans la vraie vie, viens dans le 93. Ah, dans le 93. Parce que je t'ai sorti, viens à Planoise. Hein? Parce que je t'ai sorti de venir à Planoise. Toi, tu me disais au 93. Bon, Hugues, tu viens du 93, frère. Bah, ajoute en chaîne et web. Frère, c'est quoi déjà, frère, vos pseudo claqués au sol là? Mais bon. Et twerk, je t'aide bien, donc enfin, ça va. À twerk, ton pseudo, genre c'est tout collé ou pas? Genre là après j'écris hey web comme ça. Parce que genre MDR, tu sais pas lire. Et si tu veux, du coup. Mais ferme ta gueule, frère Zaza. Tu viens d'une campagne. Tu fais la rave du. Tu manges du jambon. Est-ce que Blackcito, moi je suis un arabe? Dis-moi. Dis-leur. Oui, ok, bah genre je t'ai collé. Oui, voilà, frère. Les rebeux, gros, ils vont monter tous en l'air. Tous en l'air. Les mains en l'air. Gros, ton pseudo, il marche pas, frère. Je suis pas rebeu, MDR. Le cochon, je te fais graille. Blackcito, gros, il mange du cochon. Donc, tu peux pas déjà lui faire graille alors qu'il en mange déjà, mon pote. Mais nous, on va te faire grailler à un niveau que tu n'auras jamais dans ta vie, mon pote. Sur Fortnite. Écris son blaze, le modo. Tu maraboutes. Là, par contre, ça va, c'était drôle. Bah, pourquoi tu joues pas maintenant? Ta mère t'a puni de play. Ils m'ont sorti quoi? Ils m'ont sorti, on a 19 ans. Enfin, pas at work. Je sais même pas comment ça. Zazazer. Ça, on a 19 ans. Ça se trouve, c'est vrai, hein, mais. Mais bon. T'as puni de player. Tu sais, il est là, il attend sa play. Maman, tu me la rends. Oui, il faut que t'aies des bonnes notes. Faut que t'aies ton bac ou je sais pas quoi. T'arrêtes de faire des bêtises en cours. Sinon, tu vas être encore puni. Vas-y, t'arrêtes de bavarder, hein. Sinon les profs ils vont te mettre des mauvaises quoi? Des mauvaises compétences. Oh non, ils reviennent que dans 14 minutes. Vas-y, c'est quoi ça? C'est quoi ça? Vous êtes drôle, MDR. T'as vu? T'as vu là, t'as plus de répartie, tu sais pas quoi dire. Tu dis vous êtes drôle, MDR. C'est même pas répondre à Blackcito, cette merde. Regarde, Black Cito, lui, il t'écrit, gros, tu portes même pas tes couilles à lui répondre parce que t'es une petite bide. Oh, Black Cito, tu prendras. Tu prendras en. Tu filmeras demain. Ah oui, demain, les gars, en fait, je suis pas là, c'est vrai. Demain soir, ok? Demain soir à la même heure. On me filme vos merdes. Mais après, vous allez devoir aller vous coucher comme des petits bébés. Vous devez vous coucher à 9h. Vu que vos parents, ils doivent vous dire allez vous coucher à 9h, là. Demain, on les fumax. Oh, ya. Regarde, ils ont quitté le live, je crois. Viens, on va en duo, Blackito. Ender, non, ils arrêtent à 21h. Ouais, j'avoue, frère. C'est les petits mecs de campagne, là, qui viennent à skip du 93. Et après, s'ils viennent du 93, bah, c'est bien. C'est pas des délinquants non plus, hein, je te le dis. Faites un VS, un buffet. Attends, on va en arène solo. Oh, j'ai perdu trop de points. Bon, je me suis fait baiser par des merdes. Vas-y, j'y vais. Oh, t'as pas trouvé un mec pour faire de la trio, Flax? Oh, Black Cito. Ça c'est leur mère, gros. Ils doivent se déplacer là-dessus. Ils doivent rebondir. Ils peuvent pas se déplacer à pied. C'est vraiment gros. Ça, frère, avec les doigts là, tu vois, la crabe. Quand je prends leur chat, frère. J'arrive, tu vois, le crabe là. Tu vois, ses doigts, regarde leurs doigts là. Ses doigts là, quand ils pincent comme ça là, je leur prends ça, leur chat, frère. Je leur tire là. Je leur tire leur mère. Gros, tu sais même pas comment c'est parti, frère. Il y en a un, il est arrivé, il a dit t'es claqué. Du coup, je lui ai dit si t'es pas content, tu quittes le live. Après, il a commencé à dire vas-y, viens, 1 vs 1 là. Frère, Askip, il a 19 ans. Hein. Un mec qui a 19 ans, frère, il est intelligent. Il vient pas rentrer dans le truc à dire comme ça. Ça, c'est juste des mongols, frère. S'il a 19 ans, bah, la vie de ma mère, c'est un mongol. Regarde, tout à l'heure, c'est qu'est-ce qu'ils mettent, Blackstone? Ils mettent vas-y, j'arrête, j'ai d'autres trucs à faire, je vais aller me branler. D'accord, il va rien se branler, frère, avec ce qu'il a entre les jambes. Et de ça marche ou pas avec ça? Ah ouais, ça marche pas. Ah oui, ça marche. Oh, en vrai, avec ça aurait tellement de cheat. Tu regardes Blax ou pas? Dis-moi une ville, vite. Vas-y, je vais tomate la première. Tu me diras une autre ville pour la prochaine. Putain, hey, gros, j'ai perdu 400 points depuis tout à l'heure. 400 points. Tomate. Vas-y. De toute façon, c'est ce que j'allais faire. Et tu sais que depuis tout à l'heure, j'ai perdu 400 points, gros. Il y avait tout le temps des mecs dans ma ville, là. Et en plus de ça, je me faisais tout le temps all-in par des merdes. Bah arrête. Oh là là, je sens que la game, je vais la win. Je sens cette game, gros, c'est la mienne, Blacks. C'est quoi, on va faire ça. Merde. Ça, comme ça. Je vais jouer tel un pro. Frère, ces grosses merdes, ils ont même pas les moyens de s'acheter un pack à 5 € sur le jeu, hein, je suis sûr. Grosse bite. Là, c'est grosse bite vu qu'ils ont une petite. Vraiment grande. C'est sympa, j'essaie un peu de les aider pour contrer cette maladie. Et je m'en fous parce que demain on leur pète le fond, je rigole même pas. Tu joues comme d'habitude là, t'écoutes même pas mes conseils là, tu joues comme d'habitude mon pote. On leur fume leur mère là parce qu'à faire les fous frère. Je déteste quand des mecs viennent sur les lives là pour faire les malins. Alors qu'en vrai ils sont claqués et leur demain ils portent pas leur couille à venir. Je suis sûr que ça va être ça gros. Ça le bite que vous êtes là. Merde. Il faut... Demain soir du coup Black sur tout et on les stream. Après par un trio avec Tom ou Derek. Derek. Ouais. Là mon gars, je rigole même pas. Et je veux qu'on les atomise mon pote. Oh. Vas-y, je vais me grouiller. Dis-moi Bastien, si tu veux qu'après je rush ou genre je fais ma game quoi. Ouais, je vais garder ça. C'est des genres manettes en plus, hein, donc toi tu les fumes easy gros. Ils me disent ouais c'est pas edit. Ah toi y'a un mec. Tiens nique ta mère, allez dégage de là. C'est moi ici. Oh mon pompe. Hop. Un kill. Tu vois, en World Cup, je joue souvent comme ça, genre. J'entends un mec, je me dis vas-y, go, joli. Et genre, je suis sûr que toi t'aurais pas fait ça là, non? Dis-moi si t'aurais fait ça aussi. Je crois que le mec il avait un lama ou quoi frère, il est full balle de pompe. Moi là j'ai 3 répus, je suis trop bien. Non. Ah ouais. Ah j'ai 3 mini shield, merci à lui. Il m'a donné. Oh j'ai envie de faire la technique des grès mais toute seule ça. Oh le pad. Le pad. Je pense que je vais attendre le top 25 hein. Non je vais attendre mon bus et je vais mettre la queue comme ça tu vois, tu peux quand même regarder un truc. J'ai trop envie de leur péter le pion. Oh. J'attends que ça. Ah oui, je t'ai pas dit. Il y a une faille à Titan. Je sais pas si ça fait longtemps qu'elle y est, mais vu que j'avais pas joué là ces derniers temps. Je suis sûr qu'ils font 0 tournoi vu que ça vont faire 0 points. J'ai trop envie d'arriver en phase 2 gros. Que ça soit des bots frère. Puisque ils ont pas encore vu un vrai niveau genre en build. Parce que souvent je me suis fait niquer à titre et j'en faisais pas de build. Oh les piantes là. Oh nice, magnifique. Allez hop. T'imagines avoir ce stuff Bastien en World Cup là? Enfin, en Cup genre. Cup cache solo. Imagine t'as ce stuff mon gars. Tu peux essayer de snipe des gens loin. Après t'as ton pompe, t'as ton AR pour jouer de près. T'as 5 répus et t'as un pod. C'est pas trop bien. j'aimerais trop. C'était trop bien, mais ouais. Tu penses, genre, je pense après le top 25, je vais aller au... What? C'est quoi c'est quoi? Je pense que je vais aller au ligue déjà. Genre avec une barrette là, je vais faire barrette pompe. Il n'y a pas un mec là? Ah, il y a un mec. Non mais le mec il est sérieux là. Il y a la zone, il va me faire chier. Non je vais pas de gros. Dis-moi si je pas de Bastien. Je le pas des gens, je l'attends en zone pour le jouer. On est deux sur le live, salut à la deuxième personne qui est arrivée. N'hésite pas à like, à t'abonner si c'est pas encore fait et puis à rester. Hein. Ah je vais avoir le top 25, attends je joue après le top 25, t'as un coup. Ah oui, c'est voilà. Oh attends. Comme tu veux. Je pense que je vais pas là. Putain, par contre le top 25 il vient pas en fait. Putain, je me suis fait... J'ai voulu changer mes construits et j'ai mis ça. On skip. Et frère, c'est... Eh, mais c'est un truc de ouf. Tiens ta mère là. Elle dégage de là, me fais pas chier. Ça peut discuter. Hein. J'aurais peut-être dû en plus d'enfer en fait. Ouais, c'est pas grave. Merde, c'est pas dans la zone. Après, c'est passé quoi ici? Ouais, y'a... C'est plus Fortnite là, c'est BF Fortnite. Oui. Ouais, je suis nul. Y'a un mec qui a tenté des balles, mais d'où je sais pas. Ah! Ah ok, toi je t'ai vu. Oh! Je l'ai pas mis. T'inquiète, j'ai des balles mon gars, je vais te faire gaspiller. T'as bien aimé le kill là, le deuxième Non. Elle peut passer. Frère. Tu édites? Ah bah j'ai édité mon pote. Non, il n'y avait pas de briques. Mais il chope tout. Il chope tout. Mais il chope tout. Gros, il m'a tout chopé cette bite là. Oh, j'en ai marre. J'en ai marre. Frère, c'est une merde. Il m'a tout pris. À skip, ça se joue aléatoirement, mon gars. À skip, ouais. Oh, Bastien, viens. Oh, Bastien, tu joues quand là?
Yeah, one thing I actually wanted to talk about, we noticed retail and Greasy coming in, right? We also made that little mistake with the houses. The big thing, though, to note about that, a lot of these house layouts are very similar when you're looking at it inside. And with new POIs, suppose you are a team that goes retail and it's so contested. Moving over to Greasy and having that similar layout, knowing exactly how to play those buildings, and as well, looking at what are the power buildings in the POI. How does that kind of change the way you adapt to it versus a team that's not their monster?
I mean, you absolutely need to know your layout. It's one of the perks of mastering a place and playing off a place for long periods of time. Now, let's just say if things were to just change or something new is to show up, that could be, you know, a big issue for some of the competitors. But hey, the best of the best adapt, and someone's gonna figure out how to make it work, right?
Absolutely, you get the experience of playing in retail, apply it to Greasy, you might just get a whole new drop spot, right? Yeah, there's taco time, hey, that's free shields, that's, as you said, the free utilization of having a knockdown teammate. Looking at a Polar Peak team right now, also a very interesting POI that's been developed kind of in the meta game over this whole season. In the beginning, not many people wanted to land here, not seeing the actual potential of loot, as we did lose the big castle, but gained so much more map space and movement vertically around the map and actual sight lines towards Frosty, towards the cabins at the back, and even Happy Hamlet takes shots at people who are up here from Polar.
Yeah, Polar Peak has always been one of those power spots to hold. You have this super high elevation, you have loads of rotation opportunity. And you can see here, it's been so long since we watched early game. I haven't even seen a team execute a proper kind of float across to big tree like that, right? So these are the small things that I nerd out over specifically is rotations, figuring out how people play their drop spots and figure out their loot situations. Something cool to note, guys, you actually don't take fall damage if you were to fall off a place.
You've got all the factoids down, man. These guys,
I play a lot of
tips. Let's go, Monster.
Just something to think about. So don't panic, guys. If you ever want to really make an aggressive dive and push, it's actually a perfect opener to come in on the hoverboard. You are exposed, but you can jump off at any elevation, any height. And if you fail, it's okay. You'll be all right.
That's one thing you also pointed out on. It's actually Heat 1 game 4 from the Middle East at the moment, okay. Which is a whole new slew of players that we're going to be seeing, because we were watching Heat 2 previously, so we'll see how this Heat panned out, how the end games kind of differ. Before, we saw a lot of top-down shooting vertically, not many people challenging it late at all, a lot of miniguns, a lot of AR spam. Once that 7th zone kind of passed, it was free reign for those people on height. It's just about how many points can you efficiently accumulate. So now, we'll see what are some of the other different type of win conditions, endgame Monster, that you've seen in Comp Fortnite.
Hey, I mean, the name of the game is to earn points regardless. You see squads that like to execute zone 6 for high ground and then dominate, right? Put pressure down, dictate the pace of the game. You see other players that tend to kind of hold mid-ground tower, hold down on shockwaves, and then make big moves towards the tail end, trying to secure high ground, right? All of which are risk and reward plays. Personally, I think the scariest type of play style is going for height early. Those players that have the guts to go for zone 6 high ground, you're risking all of your material at the expense of going for elims, which aren't guaranteed to you, and then you're trying to control the pace of the battle, which again, some people struggle, right, in those situations, because if you don't do it properly, the server will turn on you, and now all of a sudden you're losing.
Yep, there's so many teams alive near the end of the game. There's always one that can sense the weakness on height.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're not double tarping anymore. Your metal switch to wood. Here's an opportunity. Where's the spam?
You're not hitting me. So
yeah.
like, now it's time to fire back and set up those countermeasures. And that's one of the kind of tug of wars that these teams and trios face. But here we have Sidig, MS, Idij, and Rampage here, and looks like they are looking to battle here. So the team that we saw at Greasy here was already rotating out, and in comes the fire. So just exposing themselves, no fear at all, just fearless out in the open, using a little bit of ducking there, kind of trying to naturally avoid some shots here. The shield bubble comes down. Invoke is on a weird position here. Now P goes for the high ground right now, and that's a shockwave. He's going to leave his backside open, and he's going to suffer all of his shield right there. It's going to be very painful.
Now, one big thing to notice in this breakdown is on approach, Rampage, Sidig, and M-Sidig all together were doing a 2-1 breakdown at all times. They always made sure there was one person a little bit higher, kind of switching roles to make sure they had that 2-1 split. And you see it in this fight. It's two people on a wall on one opponent. Then you have the breakdown of one person supporting up top. Right now, Rampage is in the big fray of the fight. Not sure exactly where his teammates are, but you can presume if he's on a wall, there is a teammate there to respond. Kimmy responds to the bullets by going absolutely knocked down in that state, and now going to be getting siphoned by his teammates. Now everyone grouping together. This is very good use of timing in the fight, because when you're split, you do have a lot of pressure, but there's a lot of risk involved. Now coming back together, if someone tries to peek you, you have three people aiming in. It's very good use of splits and regrouping.
Yeah, and something to learn from that battle, guys, if you notice how quickly it ended, is because they managed to just isolate. They isolated the player, they hunted him down, they forced him into a frenzy to build up for high ground, and that was the first pick. After that, the rest of the team just kind of fell in suit, trying to play catch-up to save their teammate. But we've seen a wonderful story of Minzu, Kinji, and Boxfighter Moon all day today. They had high ground. They took second place in the first game we watched, in a crazy turnaround of some shockwave plays that were made towards endgame. But we know they've been making it to the end, and they weren't on our radar previous to this. So to see Minzu, Kinji, and Boxfighter Moon here finally making a little stake of the claim for fame here on the Fortnite competitive scene is really nice. This is one of the awesome things about being able to check out these new regions and give people opportunity.
Absolutely, this is the breakthrough moment at the moment. We've seen them be really good early game in Happy, but now they have the worst possible zone rotating in. It looks like it's pulling all the way up to the right side of the map, so they will be having a mid-game fight. Very smart use of utility, making sure with stinks you can actually track where your enemies are through that damage tick through the wall. Now you can see them actually responding after getting that first elim. This is what we're talking about earlier in the day. When you have a stink, it's not usually used to grief, but to gather info and then act upon afterwards. So now they're full body sending it straight into the box fight. As they're doing it, another two teams come up from the top. It's a huge mishmash at Grandma's house in the middle of the map. A lot of teams should be rotating through here. They might get even more action as Kinji goes down.
That's what I want to talk about. It was the aggression, the fearlessness. Moon actually jumped into a 1v3 battle for high ground build. He held it down, but unfortunately Kinji's gonna get traded out here as Minzu was in the low ground trying to figure things out. And now suddenly, because they didn't, pull back the reins and play it patient here, they found themselves in another battle. But looks like these things are putting into great work as they catch another small pick there, and they managed to fend off everyone. So we'll see if they can get the reboot card, maybe pull out a clutch save at some point or another. But teams are in shambles here.
Absolutely, you touched upon it earlier where, we're happy to see these early games. And, in comparison to all the late games we always see, it's dope to cast a huge early to end game. One big thing that applies to both early and end game.
Zone, by the way.
Is timing. And this is a big use of timing right here, right? We do have a minute 14 till the zone moves. You do want to pick your teammate up, but now you're messing with not just one, but two resources. First of all, you're losing a lot of time and positioning on the zone, as well as HP pools coming in. You do have a lot of loot you did gain from the fight that these guys just had, and slurps to tick through, but the stuff you use early to pick yourself up, you will not be able to utilize in the end game. So time is shared across both early and end. It's both affected. We don't usually get to see it used at the end game, but every decision you make, maybe they wouldn't have had that mid-game fight if they were faster off their looting, right? So seeing exactly how they move across the map, how they utilize time, can actually get into where they are in the middle and end game of their gameplay.
Yeah, so they sent one player out to go kind of, you know, obviously get that revive, and then they stood, or they left the moon back behind to, you know, be that presence on the build on this skeleton that remains of what the fight was, so that the team below, you know, is cautious. They don't necessarily, you know, want to move or get that freebie rotation out of there. So the whole team is back. Now they're able to reap some of the rewards here, the loot that remains, and suddenly they're all back in action here. Now with that launch pad there, they are going to be okay to get the rotation, but remember, he did catch a knock, so notice, they just want to go ahead and take a peek. See who's left here, what kind of loot can they still kind of grab up before it's time to go, and it's a short rotation, so they don't need the launch pad either. Looks like they are going to decide to probably go on foot here.
Short rotation, definitely risky though. There are 65 people alive right now in the circle. Placement is a long ways away. Looks like Zanzis might be the last person in the trio from this fighter. One of the trios trying to move in. We'll see if it's possible for him to actually sneak through on this launch pad. Very patient gameplay there. Hopefully he has heals to come in. But this is the big problem with missed timing and getting in the zone a little bit later than you want. Kinji getting absolutely lit up in the air, going to be launching down. Might have to use hard mats early on, which means he won't have them end game. Once again, you see these connections between early and end. Usually you don't get to see why people are in such positions, but these guys took fights. They have to respond with the appropriate materials, and now they're actually turning gears to the offense. I think they noticed this guy was solo right here on the left. They do have a beam opportunity on the launch pad. Hopefully they get it. A lot of trees in the way though, Monster. This is very interesting to see how these guys are kind of moving around the map to get in the zone mid-game.
Yeah, so far so good. Again, another little buff up to the loadout. When you get that minigun, suddenly now you have the means to put the pressure up. And TR Zanzis is going to fall there as they were relentless on the push. They hunt him down, they catch him down right there, and that's going to be a nice replenish for materials and loot of the sort. And they're big chilling right now. They have everything they need. Medium, you know, light bullets. Mats are in a hurting because they're asking for attention from the server, but other than that, the points are accumulating. The steamroll's beginning here.
Yeah, the biggest thing to worry about is that zone still pulling up northeast over and over again. It means they have to move more vertically. There's already a hill in the way. Moving up pressure, you have to deal with lava, ever-changing ultimate low ground as well. There's so many things to take into account, and now they actually do have to move towards that way. The whole server could hold them back. We'll see if they use their utility to push through.
Back with this team, we saw them earlier before execute a nice isolation and pinch push against a full trio. Looks like they're setting up their next siege here. You saw a couple shots trading out, and interesting middle, the ME region kind of surprising me here with how much they are using just everything in their arsenal to fully commit to these battles here. They're throwing stinkers, laying down fire, and then fully commit into rotations and box pushes here. So this is some aggressive play we're looking at, Shayo. And it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. This is the type of playstyle we kind of signed up for here. We checked out this region, setting up the ramp bush right there. He's going to catch the 50-50 wall, but doesn't matter. Eagle isn't even looking. So catches that guy off guard. Still pick right there.
I think the difference in this trio is that usually people look for weakness to apply stinks to. They make the map weak. They make other trios weak first. Then they're like, oh, okay, these guys are weak, we're pushing in. They know exactly what fight they want to take. They actually make fights happen rather than sitting back and waiting for them. Right now, looks like these guys have 4 elims together. They're still affecting trios left and right, either picking up strays or making trios have just stray teammates. We'll see how much of an influence they have on the rest of the game, because it looks like so far they've affected 5 different trios coming in from the bottom left side of the map.
Yeah, Rampage actually took a lot of damage there, as does MSI Dig as well. And that's because the heavy sniper from the opponents nearby, they're just popping open those builds, following up with heavy AR fire. That's why they're able to, unfortunately, that's why they lost a lot of health here. But now having to expend all their heals, it kind of seems like it wasn't worth it. The teams they've taken out didn't really reap big rewards here. Now they're in a weird situation, scrambling for help and loot, but it's okay. We're approaching zone 5. It'll reveal itself in just 15 seconds, and then they'll have to make a big decision of whether they get to stay and kind of plan up, or, you know, move out and use those shockwaves.
The big thing about decisions is they're the easiest to make when you have a lot of options.
Yep.
The fact that they've ran out of all this utility, all these shields, limits their options. So now they have to play a certain type of way. They have to either find recyclable launch pads. Yes, they have the shockwaves, but then if they use them now, they lose the option as them for a win condition later in the game. So everything's kind of all on the plate now. They don't have any side dish available, no dessert coming up. It's one main course. They have to make sure it stays tasty. Hopefully they get in, and it's an easy coming from them all the way to the later parts of the zone where they can utilize whatever utility they have left.
Yeah, and this is a long rotation here, guys. They actually did not look out. The zone is pushing further and further away. Lucky for them, you can see the server is proactive. They're moving first, which is good, because if everyone's on the move, it allows you to cut across the field. The team's up on high ground. Hopefully wouldn't have had their ARs loaded, but not the case here as Rampage gets chipped right out. He gets taken down this no-fly zone here. And he lands right next to the team. He's unsure of what he wants to do. He's trying to stay close but not fall down to, you know, a layer where he cannot be saved. But it looks like that's it. That's it. This team split up. Rampage is out the game. Now it's just a duo that remains here. It's MSI Dig and Sid Dig here, hooking up this minigun. This is a very curious pressure point, so close to their opponents there. You can get punished in return with a shotgun. It's not going to be the case here, as they're just dictating the push here. Jib goes down. It's going to be a nice catch for them. He actually just finished that. It wasn't even his elim. So he's just trying to be really sneaky here, see if he can steal some of the rewards here from the down body. Little does he know, it's right over lava. It's probably not even retrievable.
Yeah, man, one big contingency off of coming off of a launch and losing your shield. It's a very risky, very, very risky play, is going towards another trio. Yeah. As you saw, they use another person's shield bubble because you attract all that heat. Maybe that trio doesn't want to deal with it. They're low on mats. They use their own resources, right? You turn 3-man's loot into 6-man's loot. The thing is, 3 of those people next to you are also not on your team. So as soon as they sense weakness, they turn right onto you. You saw that with Sadig here, who now has 6 HP, taking a whole minigun ball from the trio that was closest to him, who was he was utilizing their shield bubble to kind of take protection from, but once that ran out, they knew exactly what was up. Now we're moving into that 6 circle off of half and half. 45 people left alive, 19 trios still there, 7 need to go down for placement.
Yeah, it's still a lot of trios left in the game here, and this is really weird too. And the elevation is only going to rise here as they go up and over the volcanic mountain. This is one of the steepest points in the world of the Fortnite world. This is similar to the polar peak climb here. It's a very steep wall you have to get up and over, and if they don't move soon, they're going to be stuck with their backs against the wall here. But you know what? It's more important, exactly, to try and pick up some siphon here. So Sigil going down there is going to be huge. That's going to at least help Sid to get some health here if he can kind of hold out. A launch pad's going to be placed down in Upsy Daisy. Now into the next zone they go, and great tracking of his teammate here. That's actually a phenomenal job, even under the pressure and the circumstances that they found themselves in. Great job tunneling and finding his teammate.
Yep, even off of height and mid-ground, you mentioned going through this weird zone that's very vertical. Height still has a tough job actually tarping in and making sure they can actually shoot down on people while they're moving around, because they have to change exactly how high they are. That's why you saw these guys not get beamed exactly where they were. You have such a dynamic placing of all the mid-ground layers as well, going up and down, changing layers based off of natural low ground, because if you're too high, that's a threat, right? You want to be in the perfect position. Now they're using shockwave nades. The biggest thing about these, though, is when you're using them endgame, you do take a 10 tick every now and then. These guys only have about 60 to 70 HP to play with. So every one of these shockwaves must be perfect, and some could also be saved. Jiren actually going down for a huge siphon elim and mats that these guys did need. They were almost shambles. Now they're not. The last almost shockwave coming in from Sadig, still taking ticks away from his teammate. Sadig actually going down. Sadig is the one up here. Another elim on Fahad. He goes down. RPG available as well. Looks like Sadig actually caught up with him in that mid-ground there. Having mid-ground over here is such a big deal as well, because you don't have to deal with any of the vertical pressure or low-ground weirdness that goes on with the change of the map. That's
some interesting decision making right there. They split the shockwave, saying, you know what, we can't afford to make any errors, right? We can't even shockwave together. Let's split up. Let's use our own shockwave so we can't make any mistakes. And that's what they're doing right here. They're trying to execute the perfect ways possible. Unfortunately, as I kind of brought it up, Dig does make a mistake there, and now he finds himself in an odd situation. He's in between all these enemies. His teammate's up on high ground. Up, he's trying to go to him. He's just landing in enemy boxes right now.
That one big
got to make a big move here, and he's going to get caught off guard there. Unfortunately, he did try to get that high ground. He was not fortunate enough to kind of secure the deal here. In comes the minigun pressure. This is an awesome job right here. NJ is going to fall down right there. The siphon has to come through here so he can get this health bonus. It's putting him in just a better and better situation as time ticks on. And it's looking like a solo right now. This is looking like a solo endgame here, if I'm not mistaken. Everyone representing and looking out for themselves here. There's a huge, heavy snipe shot right there. Dig's going to get really hurt. Can he trade out a shot? The zone's going to go out and finish him off here. Power finds that one right there, and it's MN7 versus this last player right here. There's only 2 players remaining, Shadow.
Yep, it's game 4 in Heat 1, and the competition is getting hot. We have a big pump coming in. ASMR Spy goes down. The Power ASMR rivalry finally ends in the end game. It's now a 1v1 to see who gets those final 4 points, 3 of placement, 1 for the Elam. Nice, big, easy, fast peaks coming down from NM7. Full Lana available. He does have that pump or shotgun delay since he has 2 tacks in. Will it make a difference? Almost not even out of mats at all. A nice 180 tack shot from height takes down DSQ and D for those big points in. Power is still on top. They can't be stopped right now. Huge game from them.
That was wonderfully done for NM7. And with that, we're going to head over to the floor with Sundown to give us a nice little recap.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. And we see the Middle East has been heating up in the... individual strong efforts in the end game. We kind of talked about it before, how they stick very close together in the mid and early game, but we've seen now...
είναι κι άλλος. Δεν έχω σφαίρες, έχω 5 σφαίρες. Αυτά τα ρεύματα δεν έχω τα... Α, η δική μου τα έχουμε βάλει. Πώς μου ρίξα από εδώ και μετά βρέθηκε εκεί. Είδε με. Μου ρίξε, βγαίνω και έχει βγει έξω από την πόρτα και έχει πάει και δεξιά.
Everything set up for you, the momentum is there, you're always comfortable, and it's a very easy way to kind of segment and know exactly when and what to build. You're never worried about missing anything mid-game.
And also remember, ladies and gentlemen, Storm Surge is active, so honestly, you kind of want players to land on you at your POI. I know in a perfect world, you beat Storm Surge and you get a whole zone to yourself, but in the real world, in the real Fortnite world, usually doesn't really work out like that. You want those free picks, those early picks. You want your enemies to, botch their landing, not get the shotgun, pump them, catch them easy freebies. So getting those early in fights can be beneficial, especially if you master your craft. I think early game is one of the hardest, times, one of the hardest Fortnite things to master, really, I should say. And a lot of teams struggle. So there are some players that can pop off in a lot of situations, but they can't really get their gears rolling. They tend to struggle in early game.
Yeah, with few mats available early, since you don't obviously farm out unless you find a llama, and so many spots and natural cover to move around, it's very unpredictable, right? And the top player's worst nightmare is kind of being in a fight in an unpredictable scenario. You have to kind of react to what's on your screen. If you have more than one person focusing you down, that's even worse for you, right? You're always back against the wall. You want to have everything available for you. You want to have some room. So 100% I agree. Early game is something that's very hard to perfect and very hard to kind of prep for when you're playing in the game. It usually just gets thrown onto you.
These guys are using all this retail row kind of extra loot to really capitalize and find the perfect loadout. So Jansen's going to get a big upgrade right there. Going from a great tactical shotgun up to a legendary shotgun. Legendary tactical, we've seen multiple players. Even that, rare European game one we got to catch. Now, I call it rare because you guys know the issues that kind of unfolded today. We saw players, pro players, taking the gold tack over the blue pump, even when it needed most. Players needed it the most, right? You needed that one pump. People were still opting to rock out with the gold tack.
Yeah, the meta for a lot of players and the way they play and take peaks, they use the combat for so much time of the season. They're used to having more bullets to send through. They're used to having,
fire rate.
Yeah, the fire rate as well, right? It's just the biggest thing they're not used to and they have to kind of adjust to is the pull-out time of that gold and purple pack, because it is slower than all the other shotguns available right now in the loot pool.
Here's Zanzis, so they're going to use hoverboards to get away from the trio that's to the left, or maybe they didn't even realize they're actually firing off in the distance there. So little do they know, someone is already up close and personal, but there it is. The sound cue is given off, and he's actually spotted by Zephyr, who's got the perfect pinch on this player, and Zanzis, who's got the nice range as well with the explodes here. Shield Bubble is going to isolate this player from Zephyr. Zephyr loses the 1v1.
Shield Bubble absolutely isolates. The big thing about this side of the map too is how spread out and isolated you are from the get-go. So much of the split is going on just for looting purposes that when a fight starts, you have to act quick to get back to your team. Fast builds from Zanzis though, shockwaves coming through, still a block off, the tack shots not missing a single one out of 8 in his clip. Zanzis is on point right now. Metal's not going to stop his beam from coming through into your box. A two-way split on pressure on the box as well. I hear a minigun in there too, Monster. This is insane.
It's going down right now. He's not missing any shots. Happy that you noted that, because there's knock players everywhere. Risa goes down. Normally when it's me and I got a tack shotgun, I have a million excuses to figure out why I'm not, landing or damaging damaging, but it doesn't matter. Zans has shown that you can hit your shots, you're gonna win your fights. And that's exactly how this battle has turned around, because Zephyr was the first to get traded out. So as a 2v3 situation, they're doing so good. Invoke's gonna fall down now as well, which means that last player is very weak, because Zans has already got 2 knocks here. So let's see how he goes to execute and kind of seal the deal here. So he walks right around, and there he goes, catches Invoke.
Absolutely no hesitation at all to use any type of utility. Not a certain pattern we usually see. People are more safe and scarce with what they want to use in a fight, especially this early. Mid-game, I understand, throw your 6 stinks. But this, Sans has just used, I think, upwards of his entire rocket clip with what the GL came with as well. And the minigun ammo, no care for it at all. I think we just dropped down from like 600 to 200.
Hey,
Still reaping the benefits.
What they say. If you can't take it with you back to the lobby, so you might as well throw it out there, because the worst thing is to, to get taken out of a game and be like, man, I still had those splashes. I knew I should have padded right there, right? Or, kind of have those regrets. So, good on them to kind of throw it all at the wall when it mattered, because their teammate got taken out first. Zephyr lost. So you might as well throw everything to really take the tide and then take the bull by the horns in that situation, I should say. But taking a look at the other side of the map, we have Eska, Toggle, Seagull on the run here from a team behind them. They put some pressure on squads kind of floating around, launch padding above.
When the zone gets pulled down from this angle, from on the entire map, this bone spot, the whole Sakura flower field, is a very interesting place where a lot of trios actually converge. A lot of the POIs on that side of the map usually don't waste too much time actually getting bricked from, but if you have that mentality because you just want to go and farm the teeth, every other trio has that mentality as well. There's so much brick available, as you can see, on the lake, on the actual rock behind you guys, the whole skull. But the big issue is if every trio is thinking that way, this is what ends up happening. A huge fight that blows out, stinks being thrown, a lot of utility being used, including defensive utility like campfires and bubble shields, will have a lot of engagements that you probably don't want to take just because you're on the same page as some other trios in the early game.
And those are some amazing stinks right there to really put the pressure on these players down here. But there's someone in Tilted Town who's actually firing back. There's another squad on the mountain just to the side of that as well. So suddenly what looked like a free push and a free takeout on this squad here in the river is now turned into a really odd situation because they're surrounded by multiple players. RSG Spirit tries to skate away there on the hoverboard. He's going to get picked off immediately by this trio right now. And they say, you know what? We caught a freebie over here. Let's go back. Let's get that loot and forget these guys on the river. They'll live to see another day for now.
Yeah, big cost to their resources, though. A lot of, I think, would ultimately just expended to push that fight. Easily farmable up once again, but we did see so many trios rotating through here. Will there actually be much left at the moment, or will they have to get it on the fly moving forward as well? These guys seem to not stop. It just toggles on 24/7. Fights are on all the time. Not sure why there's just it's a 2-box kind of defensive base right now, but the less boxes you have, the more opportunity for a big pop-off moment. Spirit getting released all the way to that knockdown state. It's a box wall-to-wall fight right now. It's going to be that 50-50 engagement. Big Elim coming out of Toggle.
You gotta show some respect for Toggle shots right there, flicking at the light and the slightest pixel that moved in front of him. He did not miss a shot, hitting 3 flush pump shots right there, and a flawless edit as well on the player that was just picked up. So Spirit got knocked, he got saved, he got put right back down to the dirt, and then Toggle follows up with the other. Now hopping on over to Shifty Shafts. Looks like we have, we saw Sid dig, we saw MSI dig, and Rampage have a great last game. They're just outside of the Shifty here, and there's another trio nearby.
Amazing. We're going to be looking at Shifty now, one big place to actually get refarmable mats in. The biggest part about this, you talk about the whole skull earlier for brick. A lot of teams do rotate the Shifty for that metal, as once again, on this kind of middle side of the map, especially coming out of Tilted Town, yes, you have an increased plethora of mats available from chests, but to knock off and top off all your metal, you do have to rotate and find a lot with other trios as well. So a dope pattern we're seeing in this mid-game is a lot of Middle Eastern trios on the same page, moving forward, backwards, and all around the map, knowing the exact power, POI, and farm spots mid-game as well, as we see a care package coming down from the top.
That's right, and ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It's Shio Wager, Monster D-Face. We're looking at the Middle East region. We're taking a look at these heats, these games that are unfolding here. A region that we have not covered much of. This is actually, if anything, their debut to the Fortnite main stage here. So to see these players performing under pressure right now, we're looking at our future stars. future names that, you know, will show up for the next World Cup for all we know, right?
Yeah, the scene can only develop more and more and more. They can only review more and play more, which means they'll only get better, and we'll see even greater and bigger things. One big thing I've been seeing these guys utilize mid-game and very early on as well, I want to ask you a question, Monster. What do you think about the uses of shield bubbles mid and end game? When should they be used? How do you manage just having 2 in an inventory?
Yeah, from what I've seen, the shield bubble is obviously one of the most, you know, effective tools to canceling out fire coming in on you when you become the focus point of a server. But more importantly, the perfect way to isolate a team when you decide, hey, we want to pounce on this target as well, so that no one can kind of interrupt or interfere with your battle as well. So the shield bubble is just such a flexible item, and there is no perfect time to use it, because we've seen it used to also just like clog up lanes for fire, right? Or the way these guys have come up with these innovative methods to stick it to yourself when you're on a bush or in a vehicle per se. So the shield bubble has been a great addition to Fortnite. It makes me miss, honestly, the flint knock, because the flint knock is another great addition, right?
Yeah, it's a versatile item that you can use offensively and defensively at a click of a button, right? The instant actual effect comes there. At the moment now, still more disrespect and momentum. Rampage is causing a scene in every single fight he's a part of. It's great that these guys have such a good spirit when they're playing the game. They're always on point. It seems like they're just having a lot of fun playing these matches, even though we can't hear the comms.
Yeah, I mean, Rampage is really cranking right here. He got that quick knock and came right back up to high ground, and they're just suddenly resetting for the battle here. But someone's going to get dropped. It's Dig who fell behind, and now this trio is on their back foot here, as someone is looking to dive on them. We're not quite sure who it is that's pressuring them right now, but the fire is coming in from all types of ways. Out comes the poison. Okay, so it's VND and their crew up top on the high ground, really just putting pressure in. Storm keeping them out here. They do manage to get that revive off, and that's one of the perks of trio, right? Trio competitions. One player can save, one can play defense, and we see this executed time and time again. It's not like that in any other game mode, only in trios.
There's so many things as well as just being part of trios. You got that whole 5 more items you can carry as well. You have a whole new role. I remember Bala saying that, you know, when chunk splashes were being introduced and trios were like a concept game mode, you could have just a role of an actual healer in the game. And we see that, you know, the clutch player is usually the one that carries the shockwaves and the RPGs. The support player is usually the one carrying those long-range chunk splashes, the brute force kind of pick-me-up items of the trio, whether it's med kits or extra shields. So it's dope to see that when you have more player slots available, you can dive deep into these roles in your trio.
All right, so this trio here, sitting on the riverbed in a really odd spot. You never want to be in this low ground underneath the mountain at the mercy of all the teams around you. They do have a launch pad, though, and they have a long rotation to make here, so looks like they say, you know what, if we go in the air, we're probably going to get hit out the sky. Let's just try our best, right? Go on foot. Try our luck here. They attempted a freebie rotation, and Dig gets punished with a big sniper shot that's okay. He's going to be able to heal up and bounce back. And you know, it was worth it, I guess. They got close enough. They made it to the zone. They didn't really expend all their materials, right? The best of the best teams know how to rotate for free, if you want to call it that, and take the risk to get to where they need to be without wasting material.
Yep, one thing, you have the kind of relationship towards mid-game and end. If you have more shields, you can take the risk to take and get shots to your HP pool to save those mats, drink those shields up, and then just go for siphon ending, because it's a lot easier to get it there than to do a big mid-game fight. And me saying that, though,
look at this setup. Look at this setup.
Like
Rampage goes underneath their build there, looking for the knockdown to see if they can, you know, sweep someone out from underneath their base. They just are not slowing down the momentum from one place to another. They're bringing the battle to anyone nearby. They're hungry to capitalize on the resources and materials here. That was a heavy sniper right there. You have 2 players holding down the turbo build, trying to see if they can, you know, keep control of the wall there. Dig makes the reload on the heavy snipe, so any bust, he can make any wall bust that he wants right now. There it is. He opens up another, takes that one right there, makes a quick edit. Can he connect with the shot? He does. He catches one player, but eats a explode from a grenade launcher from somewhere nearby.
The siphon comes in, though, keeping him healthy. He's going to keep going forward. One decision he made there is not to put that stair in, but to get the damage off first, which proved good for him. At the same time, he did take a shotgun shot back, as well as an explosive, since he didn't own the stair, and it did get edited the moment that smoke came in. Now we're switching back over to defense. They did get a few mats off that siphon, his teammates at least. Now he has enough time to actually take over this whole base. They fill up their loaded slots as well with more things such as shockwaves and a minigun potentially if they want to take it through as well. And they'll top off on the shields they used when they actually rotated in, using them instead of the mask. We talked about that earlier as well.
Yeah, now looking to retreat back to the metal carcass that they left behind. Remember, metal takes multiple shots of explodes to kind of break open. They actually find a trio nearby. It's going to be a huge pump shot for 104 now, and they're using the side pinch here. And no, another team comes through. He's going to hit the big pump. He's not missing, but it's just not enough to close the deal here. Rampage is left by himself, but I'm sure the comms are, giving out. They're weak. They're definitely weak. Let's see if Rampage can pull it together here. He has 13 minis in the loadout here, and he is going to find, yeah, there it is. He's got to switch up the loadout here just a bit. Can he get his heals off, though? Can he get the medium bullets? No, he's actually only has 5 mediums in the legendary, or in the epic AR here.
Yeah, one thing I was going to notice, even if he does survive, what can he actually do? He kind of just has to stay in boxes, zone to zone, shockwave, and hope to get into someone's box or wreck another trio's game to get back in and online. Because right now, I'm counting him completely out of the running against all these big other trios. You see Namfu right above him and VND below him as well.
That was a worst case scenario too. When you hear that team chug splash going off, when you're like, ooh, that was ours. They caught our boy. They're using our resource. They're all healthy. Now you know they're healthy. So that's not a battle you can take. So the VND boys managed to topple the team right there, the Rampage crew, and now make a big rotation here, and they get away with it. They get away with a beautiful launch pad, leading them right into the Storm Wave 6, where we'll get our first moving zone. So we have a nice little stink grenade right there. It's gonna put some pressure up, but this trio is so split now.
Now, one thing, the big note as well, is that these guys are on point with using the proper mats at the proper times. At the moment, they're boxed up before a moving zone. This is where you want no interruptions on your game plan. You don't want your base to get shaken. You don't want any disturbances possible. So you're using those hard mats to make sure you're not focused. Because no one's going to pop in 3 AR mags of a SCAR to break open exactly where your box is, right? So this is very smart for them to just kind of have a little bit of premeditated planning, then using wood later on. They're almost topped up on every mat as well, which is very, very smart from these VND boys. As you said, we talked about it earlier, I love having rainbow loadouts. And right now they have every color on the spectrum available: shockwaves, miniguns, the silent SCAR, and a bunch of heals to get split over. A very cool thing Hater did right there is dropping that big pot over to his teammate. You never know what happens on rotation. One person might go down. It's good to have loot sparsely kind of allocated between everyone, so everyone has that clutch moment chance.
Double minigun is going to start cooking here as they have a player on the run. It's going to be Weil who gets taken out of his. Well, the scream's right there. Unfortunately, in comes a shockwave, and Hadar finds himself in the zone right now. At the cost, of course, of a lot of HP, but there it is. That Elim is converted. Dreamwell falls down, and now Hadar's just got to eat some zone. He's trying to crank his way up this mountain. Such a weird spot to be in. There's a player right underneath him. I wonder if he's going to turn around and try to catch this free pick right here. No, he's just more worried about defense. There it is. Little offensive play right there. Can he connect? No, he's going to get taken out. Gets dropped real quick. Hopping over to Xanthus, Zephyr, and others. You can see just from a nice aerial view of the rotation these players have to make, the struggle that they have going up and over the mountain, and now through what might be the best terrain right here. It's kind of flat. This is where you want to be.
This is where you want to be if you're on the front side of that zone. But anyone at the back on the blue line, once people get based up and realize once Fahad is done drinking these shields, they're going to look straight back for all those elims to come pouring and funneling through. So yes, it's amazing to have flat land if you are in that advantageous position.
FHD does pop the launch pad right there, and out they go floating. Kind of an early launch pad as well, just to go and battle for the high ground. So this is that zone wave 6 we talk about, going for the high ground nice and early here. He's cooking that minigun right now, trying to see what he can do. Little does you know, there is another team up high. There it is. This player has been spotted, melts him right out the sky. Wild Gamer here goes straight down, and the high ground is the power trios. Once again here, the minigun's just the perfect situation. They are just chopping players down. This is just too easy for him at this point.
Yeah, but split solo as well. He doesn't have to worry about his teammates getting in the way at all. It's free reign for Hod right now. Even if he does get knocked down due to low mats, it's the only thing I can see that can stop his reign right now. But his teammates can cover that as well. He's going to keep minigunning down. The shockwave is the perfect thing for him too. Getting people down to white tags, has the shotgun to switch over to as well. Yonk's up top. Looks like he actually bit off more than he could chew. The Hod goes down. These guys still have so many eons right now. 6 with more to come. The zone is just flipping back. Looks like they have an advantage to hold back the whole zone from height as well on hard mats. Shockwaves are the only thing that can stop them from this position.
And the reason it really works out for the minigun high ground in this situation specifically is because it landed right over low terrain. Everything did, so everyone's floating on weak builds, weak wood. When the minigun comes chopping, it's taking all that resource, all that material with it. And all these players were just thrown down to low ground. It's hard to defend at that point. You have to block what's coming up from above. You have to protect your floor plane below you. You can see there, he's going to actually use a shockwave. That's actually really odd. He throws a player out to the zone. You see for a second there, the lining did show someone in the storm, so it was successful. And there it is. Someone goes down, but Yonk's still at it. He's looking for the shotgun shot right here. And they're just going to win. They're just going to hold players out. I guess the shockwaves kicking them to the zone was worth. It kind of all went in their favor, huh?
Yeah, it was a very unique ending right there. Very casual. They straight up started doing weird edits on height at the end. Absolutely no respect. We're going to be throwing it over to Sundown to break down more of what we saw in this heat and more.
What I got is